Just Us Thinking. I am your host, Michael.
And I'm your wonderful co-host, Rebecca.
And I'm your sound expert, Mikey.
And here we go with another episode.
Yep, and we're going to talk a little bit today about smart devices and how they equal dumb and lazy people.
And we're all guilty of it.
We are, yeah.
We're not going to deny that fact.
No.
We all suffer from the same problem.
We do.
So yeah, this is going to be a good show.
It will be, yep.
I just don't know where we're going to go with it yet.
Okay.
We have points written out, so...
Yeah, we'll see how good we stick to those, huh?
Yeah, we have a problem with that.
Yeah, it'll be okay, though.
So what's our news story here?
So a news story, which is actually kind of interesting coming off the whole submersible thing, is that Virgin Galactic has resumed, or I don't know if they're resuming them, but they've had space tourism, basically. They're offering flights into space.
Like, now, are we talking, like, not outer space? It's inner space, I believe.
I don't know.
So, I think that's kind of the confusion of inner and outer space. So there is, you can still go to technically space by not going into space. That's they're getting right at the cusp of that spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's why, like, Captain Kirk and all these other, some of the celebrities have gone to get the title of I'm an astronaut now.
Oh, okay.
So I think, and I may be wrong, I'll have to check with my NASA expert
Okay.
on what they're defining is what space is or not.
Oh, okay.
So more to come on that. But
Okay.
I believe Russia also just launched their next craft to go to the moon.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So
It sounds like Virgin Atlantic's doing it or Virgin Galactic is doing it a little bit smarter. They have 2 pilots, a company astronaut trainer, and then, of course, the passengers.
okay, so here's my biggest issue here. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong in the water.
Right.
Pressure and all of that. There's a lot that could go wrong when you get that high up.
Exactly.
So, I get it. They're on the cutting edge, and I get wanting to be on the cut edge and push that envelope. My issue with that is catastrophe can happen, and, like, for example, if the sub goes down, and it went down and imploded.
Yeah.
Now, we all, as humans, hope that it went by quick and they didn't feel any pain and it was a painless situation.
Right.
But there has also been situations where a sub or someone has, like, bottom out. They know they don't have enough oxygen, and they're like, well, we're dead in 4 hours. There's no one that could come get us. We're out of reach of everybody. You have to sit in that place for 4 hours coming to terms with you dying.
Yeah, that would suck.
Right. Can you imagine the same thing for these people that are going to the edge of space? What happens if they get up there and something bad happens? What if a thruster kicks off and then drifts them just a little too far out of the atmosphere,
Mm-hmm.
and they get carried away? Then they're going to be floating around for how long, knowing they're all going to die. Yeah, I hate to say it, but when you're living your life on that edge and you choose to do that, there are consequences for your actions.
Yeah, and that comes with anything, so yeah.
You're right. You could say the same thing with, drag street racing,
Yeah.
NASCAR. How many NASCAR accidents have there been?
A lot.
when you're taking a high performance vehicle in there, and there's just so many things that can go wrong, that that's that adrenaline rush. The skydivers, the base jumpers, those guys that like to jump on the top of the buildings and do that parkour stuff on the top of the building. one slip and they're gone. And we've lost some parkour people doing that too.
Oh, wow.
I mean, there's some people that have fallen to their death doing that.
Ooh.
So where do you stand on that as a question?
Yeah.
Do you have one camp that says, you're gonna, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Saying.
Yeah.
And then the other side that says, well, I can't, it's the humanity, we need to protect people and do this. The problem is, if people choose to live their life, let them live their life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you do something that is going to increase your risk for death, don't be surprised when you die.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, maybe this wasn't a good idea after all.
I mean, if you go, and there's a lot of things that can be safe, but, even flying an airplane has its risks.
Yeah, and you risk your life every day getting into your car too. So it's...
So you could have that guy that is doing death-defying stunts all the time, and you're sitting there going, I don't know how this guy's not dead. Walk out your front door and lightning hits you and you're dead.
Yeah.
I mean, so I hate to say it, but there's no guarantee in life.
Right.
So.
But I guess it costs, the cost is pretty well too. It's $450,000.
For $500,000.
Mm-hmm. I guess there was a sweepstakes winner.
An Olympian went on there too.
Oh, okay. It was, a sweepstakes winner and her daughter went on there. So yeah, should be pretty interesting. I hope it goes well because that's kind of cool.
The rich guy that took his son into the sub and lost his son. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
That's. I guess anything could go wrong. You go ziplining, over the Royal Gorge.
Yeah.
And the zip line breaks and you fall to your death, right? I mean.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but, life is...
Thanks for ruining ziplining for me.
Well, I mean, what a hell of a way to go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look at it that way, too.
That's true, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Here's the difference Here's the difference. I'll tell you what the difference is. Ziplining has been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
They constantly replace those cords.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more of a science there to that now.
Yeah.
In fact,
and I'm sure they have backup safety stuff.
And even when we were there and you wanted to zip line across the Royal Gorge, because of the winds and because of some other factors throughout the day, they closed it down.
Yeah.
Safety concerns stepped in.
Right.
And they can do that because it is not a sub in very, very high pressure situations that if something goes wrong, you could, let's shut this down. Once that sub gets so far down, you can't shut it down.
Yeah, you can't.
It's too late.
Yeah, you can't go back.
Now, that doesn't mean that in 100 years from now, our technology and our perfection based off of what has already happened isn't going to mean that for $20 you could go pay some guy to take you down in an elevator down to the Titanic.
Yeah.
We don't know that. I mean, technology does change. Technology makes it better.
Correct.
However, technology can make things worse.
It can, yeah. I mean, it's...
Well, and that's what our show's about, is smart devices equal dumb and lazy people.
Yes, it is, and I think we're all unfortunately guilty of that.
That is true. We are.
Yeah.
So what do we have on our list here?
So one of the first topics that we were going to talk about were overusage of it and some of the effects that it causes.
Yeah, so now I hate to say it, but we all overuse our phones.
Oh yeah, we definitely do.
Is it overstimuli, you think?
I think it's part of that. You get sore neck and stuff like that from it.
Oh yeah, looking down at your phone, that cocked neck.
Yeah.
Or looking up and
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that no one ever talks about. They have those devices, that I remember it. They hook around your neck so you can put the thing on there.
Yeah, they still have them, I think.
Yeah.
I think I've seen them more recently, but...
Have you?
Yeah. I thought we saw them at one of the stores.
We might have. I try to, I look at those, I laugh, I move on.
Yeah.
I mean, I will tell you how many people have like been laying in bed with their holding their phone up over their head, and it falls down and hits them in the
In
face.
the face, yeah. I've been guilty of that too. I'm like, okay.
So yeah, sore necks. I mean, even computers and like tablets, we're all they always are
Looking
laptops.
down.
You look down.
Yeah.
And that's not a good position for your neck.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure my chiropractor will say that's horrible.
I'm pretty sure he will,
As
yeah.
he's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but we are all guilty of it.
Yeah, and I guess one of the biggest things that some people might not realize is, like, it also causes mental health issues.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would think that would be the problem too. So, could that maybe ADHD or some other issues that it's causing?
Yeah, it says it can lead to anxiety and depression.
Well, yeah.
And then adolescents who are addicted to their smartphones were more likely to experience chronic stress and low emotional stability.
That's the overstimuli.
Yeah.
You have all that information like instantly to you. It's causing all kinds of issues, right?
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? I mean, in the world we live in, it's kind of crazy that we have to have that instant notification. If something happens, we get alerts on our phone right away.
Yeah.
So now, don't get me wrong. Our show should be called the Double-Edged Show.
Yeah.
Because it is truly a double-edged sword there. Amber Alerts, wonderful.
Right.
What's the older alerts? Is it a silver alert?
I don't think I've ever heard of a silver alert.
There's an alert now system. Amber Alerts for kids.
Right.
And for seniors, there's an alert system set up for them now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There's been people that, like, with dementia that had, like, walked off and...
Oh, yeah.
So there's now an alert system for them as well. Wonderful.
Yeah, see, I knew there was a system for that. I just didn't know what it was called.
I want to say it was called the Silver Alert, but I'm
Oh.
not 100% sure.
That's pretty
which
interesting.
Makes sense, but
Yeah.
I say that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
So, great. It's wonderful. If someone gets kidnapped or lost, instantly. I think you were talking about on a previous show where someone, like, crashed their car and their car was able to ping them.
Yeah, it was up in Oregon. And, there's a lot of back roads up there. So, lots of trees. Some lady went into the ditch and, luckily, I think she was like not like on someone's property, but she was close enough to someone's property where the property owners heard the screaming, but they couldn't locate them. So I think it was an Apple phone that they pinged it and they were able to tell where it was coming from.
So, again, sometimes technology is wonderful, but the problem is we don't use it in moderation.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, we have to have instant access to exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And you get, like, this attachment. I mean, how many people, now let's be honest, how many people do you know that like, are on Facebook and they post something like, and I really hate when they do it. I'm going through things right now. Don't ask.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time. Then why did you post it? If you didn't want people to ask, why did you put it out there?
That's true. Yeah. I agree and disagree. It's one of those weird situations. Like, like you said, why did you put it out there if you don't want any questions?
They're looking for attention.
Yeah.
So now, people are they're using it to get attention.
Right. Yeah.
And then you got TVs that are doing the same thing. I know video games have always been that. Like, people diverge into video games and have completely lost it. Like Felicia Day, she was addicted to video games for quite a while. She talked about it, and it was such a crazy addiction for her. Luckily, some people could snap out of it and say, you know what, I wasn't using this correctly. But same thing with alcohol and drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, people get addicted to those.
They need like AA for video gamers.
or cell phone users,
Cell phone users,
or
yeah.
Facebook AA group. I mean, if you think about it, social media has kind of dominated, and everybody has a smartphone. I don't know, like, do you remember what age you got your first phone was?
I would have to say probably high school.
Right.
Yeah. Like when I started driving.
Right. Now, it wasn't a smartphone.
No, it was just like your basic flip phone.
Right.
Yeah.
So that at that time, that technology was great.
Yeah.
But now it's the amount of information you can get now is wonderful and horrible all in the same sentence.
It is, yeah. It's kind of crazy because I remember I remember being in high school and not having my smartphone and having access to all the things that we have access to now. It's crazy, and it's distracting.
It's overstimulating. You're right. It's just distracting.
Yeah.
It's overstimulation, which means you're not sleeping right.
Right.
So it is disrupting your sleep pattern. How many times have you laid in bed going, "Oh, did I forget to do that?" And then you go and you check something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times I'm like, "Ooh, I forgot to I was going to order that and I forgot to put it in my Amazon cart." So I get up at like 2:00 in the morning because I'm up anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I throw it in my Amazon cart. Right. I mean, have you done that?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then I'll look like the next morning. I'm like, where'd that come from?
That's called drunk buying. There's a difference.
Well, no, because you'll put stuff in the cart, and I'm like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because we do. I get most of my stuff. So it's easy just to have one Amazon account. So yeah, you're going there. I don't remember putting this in there. I'm going to start randomly putting stuff in there to make you question your life choices.
Yeah. I can totally see you doing that too.
But brain fog is, I hate to say it, Mikey, I'm going to call you out on this too. I think you're getting a little bit of brain fog here. When you have too many tasks, you get overwhelmed and you don't know where to go, and you kind of get stuck.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I can see that.
And then that brain fog kicks in and you don't know what to do and you're lost and you're out of it.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that's what cell phones and that's what technology is doing. So,
it is, yeah. I think another big thing is also, again, guilty. You don't always pay attention to your surroundings or, like, for example, last night, like when I get really excited, I'm like, ooh, 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 and I kind of smack somebody.
Right.
So
normally that's me.
Yeah. I did it to my dad last night.
So what happened?
So we were driving down this road and he was looking on his cell phone for something. And
was he driving?
No, I was driving.
Okay, good.
So we actually went on this road behind the airport. And of course, the plane was taken off. And I was like, ooh, look at the plane, look at the plane. And he's like looking at his phone. I'm like, Dad, look at the plane. And I'm like, I kind of was like hitting him a little bit. He's like, what? I'm like, plane.
Well, it's an airport, so yeah, there's a plane.
But it was cool because we like went right under it as it was like taken off. So I was like, oh, and I love that stuff. So
right, so his head is in the phone, missing a perfect opportunity there. Yeah,
he looked up just in time to see it. So
I know, but how many times has somebody been in their cell phone and completely missed something?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I have to put this out there. I do not condone it. I do not like it. I will disapprove of it. I will honk my horn at you if you do this. If I catch someone texting or driving, I don't like that.
I don't either.
You should never, ever, 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 ever text and drive.
You're very good about it. I'm not as good about it, but I'm trying to make more of an effort because, we have Mikey starting to drive and I'm like, don't pick up my bad habits, Mikey.
Right. Now, your biggest bad habit. Now, I don't normally see you texting and driving the vehicle, but you do something that is equally, I think, is as bad. Is you get to a red light and you'll pull out your phone and shoot a quick text message.
Yeah.
you're still needing to pay attention to the road.
Exactly. Yep.
What do I do if I need to text somebody or if I need to do something on my phone and you're in the car with me? What do I do?
You call them.
I either call them or what else do I do? I hand you the phone.
Oh yeah.
And say, hey, do this for me. I'm driving.
Yeah.
I've said that to you many times. You've pulled up to a red light, get your phone out. I'm like, I'll text them for you.
Yeah.
Give me your phone, I'll text.
Or it's in the cup holder, yeah.
Right. So I do not condone texting and driving. That includes at red lights. Now, if you need to pull over off the side of the road and get something done, that's one thing. But then you also have these games that you could do that have specific warnings not to play these games
while driving,
and people do it.
Guilty.
How many people did we see? We played Pokemon Go. Now, I know there's I didn't mind the game, especially when we went over to Benson and we would use it to walk around and hit the Pokestops.
Right.
To me, playing the game, exercising, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
If it's causing you to exercise or keep you going, that's fine.
Yeah.
But how many cars were driving the loop?
Yeah, a lot.
Because we'd walk it and we'd see 4 or 5 different cars. We knew exactly what they're doing because there's 5 people in the car, including the driver, and they're all on their phones.
On their phones, yeah.
What happens if a dog or a kid walked out in front of them?
That would not be good.
Right. So no one really thinks about that. So as good as it could be used properly, unfortunately, people use it improperly. So, I think that's the biggest. That's like what you said. Know your surroundings.
Yeah.
There have literally been people that walked off a cliff or walked into traffic because they were playing a game, not paying attention.
Well, and not only just playing a game, but either texting or reading something. I mean, I'm sure it happens a lot in the bigger cities where people they don't pay attention to the crosswalk signs and they just walk out and somebody catches them real quick, I'm like, I could see that happening.
Well, and I want to say the surrounding issue isn't just, you can't just pinpoint that to cell phones.
Yeah. You
really can't, because I can pull up a picture from, way before cell phones were even being used on a picture that was at a crosswalk in New York where everybody was standing there holding up a newspaper.
Oh, yeah.
That's just as bad. I mean, let's be honest with you. Now the difference now is it's instant instead of that paper.
Yeah.
Now also they're standing there reading the paper. When they hear the ding for the light or someone starts walking, they all fold the paper and they all walk. Sheep.
Yeah.
That's if you had a sheep herder, that's what you got. And cell phones are the same way. So I want to say, it's equally as, we just traded one distraction for another, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's true.
The difference now is vehicles are a lot faster. Life is a lot faster. So when you're not paying attention and you step out in front of a bus and traffic and speeds are a lot faster than they were back in the 20s, well, guess what? More can seriously happen to you.
Exactly, yep. It's kind of crazy how fast-paced our world has gotten.
Yeah. So now I could say on one hand, you would think, well, cell phones, you have these Pokemon games and these real world games that you're walking around doing that stuff. Can you imagine the VR headsets? Can you imagine people starting walking around VR headsets? No. They're already created. They're already in existence.
Yeah.
You could put these on and you basically have monitors in front of you. You could literally walk down the street, watch a movie, and see everybody else there.
Wow. That's crazy.
Now, the biggest problem that I have is it has been proven that we cannot multitask.
Yeah.
People can't multitask. Mikey, do you believe that?
I do believe that.
And there's a simple way of proving that. It would be as simple as counting to 23 in between saying the alphabet. People can't do it.
Okay.
Unless you practice it and you come doing it. You can't, your brain is either on one subject or another. There is no true multitask. Now, your ability to, from flipping, like tabbing from your brain.
Yeah.
If you're really good on the computer, you could tab through screens, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, your brain has that same capacity.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
if you get really good at clicking that tab in your brain, then you're better at the perceived multitasking. But that's not the case. So
I'm going to have to go try that now. I'm curious.
yeah, it's kind of crazy that if you try to do two different things that are a little bit different,
Yeah.
you can't do it. You focus on one at a time.
Okay. Yeah.
And most people can get, with practice, you can get through it.
Yeah.
Because 23 letters of the alphabet, 23 letters, if you see it, you can do it. But if you try to process it in your brain without thinking it, you can go A1, B2, C3, D4.
Oh.
It'll progressively get harder until you have to start thinking, and then it'll go back and forth.
Okay.
Most people can get to like E or F.
Okay.
If you get past there, you've been practicing.
Oh, okay.
So, and it's amazing. So, and as much as we say, okay, Pokemon, well, you're getting out, you're getting exercise, right?
Yeah.
They
but
also,
they
also make you lazy, though.
Yeah. Because
So-
now, a lot of people can just go from their cars, and it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
So instead of walking, now you're driving.
mm-hmm.
So instead of, and I want to say, and everything we're saying, I with the exception of texting and driving, we are kind of guilty of a little bit too.
Yeah.
We've driven through a parking lot and done hit a couple Pokestops on
Yeah.
the way out.
Yep.
We swing by, we park the car, we hit a gym, and then we've gone. I know we've done that in the past.
Yeah.
So with that is, now it's also causing us, not maybe as individuals to be lazy, but as a society to be
Yeah.
lazy.
Exactly.
We don't have to go to a store and shop anymore.
We can go to Amazon or any online shopping place and shop now.
Right. How many times have you gone and say, well, I should go get this? I don't want to leave the house. I'll just order it on Amazon and have it delivered.
Yeah.
There's no window shopping anymore.
No. There's
I
not.
know people that bought all Christmas presents completely online and never stepped foot into a store.
Oh, wow.
I mean, to me, that's a little bit lazy.
Yeah.
That's, a problem. We're so lazy we can't go get food anymore. We have to have it delivered. Before, if you want pizza delivered, yeah, that was about the only thing you could get delivered, right?
Yeah.
Now you can literally go to DoorDash and have groceries delivered to you.
Yeah. And, that's another thing that we're guilty of, because we work from home now. So it's like we only have a limited, 30 minutes for lunch. That's really, if you think about it, it's enough time to go somewhere and get something, but it's really not because of lines and everything. So we've kind of gotten to the point where we know what time our lunch is and about how long it usually takes to have something delivered, so we can time it out pretty good.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's think about it. Let's say you're gonna go up and have lunch. Well, you got 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So by the time you log out, you log out for your lunch, and if you have to run to the restroom, you could pretty much kill, 5-10 minutes there.
Yeah.
If you have to make your lunch, that's going to be another 5 minutes or so.
Right.
And then so you're going to eat your lunch, and then you're going to, if you did dishes, you're going to, you have to either put your plate away, throw away your trash, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So now you're going, that 30 minute for lunch is now, if you spent 10 minutes eating, your lunch is over and you're running back to work.
Exactly.
Then you have to sit down, log back in. You have no break from work. You literally are running through that whole thing, which is why we do that. I mean, you could scarf down a meal real quick. I mean, and that's not healthy for you.
Right.
So, I get that there are, like, again, a double-edged sword. It makes it so convenient, but we are losing who we are as a society for that too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people are not. I remember growing up, jumping on my bike, going over to friends' houses, hanging out, going to a park, going out and having fun.
Right.
They don't do that nowadays.
Yeah, they don't.
They really don't. If you go to a kid nowadays and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go golfing?" They're like, "Yeah, I got Wii Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this. Yeah,
Yeah.
do you got the VR headsets? Yeah, I could, want to go to roller coaster park? Yeah, I got Roller Coaster Tycoon. We could, on the VR, we could you could ride them together,
Yeah.
and you're not even in the same room,
Yeah.
and you're communicating them through virtual.
Yeah.
You're losing that human connection.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember, when I was younger in elementary school, junior high, high school, I mean, we were always outside. Unless it was, wintertime and snow was on the ground. But, I mean, we were out all the time. Because we didn't have... I mean, we have video games and stuff, but it was, like, limited. Like, we couldn't, sit there and play them for 3 or 4 hours,
Well, yeah.
And I don't know, I guess we found more creative stuff to do with our time. And
Well, you like I said, you're losing a lot of the social aspect. I mean, and I hate to say that's kind of the world we're moving into, but when I can go over to my buddy's house and my granddaughter's there and she has her headphones on her tablet and she's 4.
yeah.
Watching movies and watching, I don't know what effects that are going to have on social behavior going forward. But I mean, where is too much? Where do you say I think we've gone too far?
Yeah.
And
I just think, unfortunately, with all the advances in technology, I mean, everybody's trying to outdo the latest thing and make it bigger and better. And I just think it, like, I don't know. I mean, I hate to sound like, old, but, like, just, like, give it a break, take it some time out, and I don't know.
well, let's look at it this way. I mean, if you take, like, our dogs, for example.
Mm-hmm.
We take our dogs. If you take a dog and you don't socialize it, you don't do anything. It doesn't interact with other dogs or other people or anything like that. You have aggression issues that can come up when they see another dog. I don't know what this is. It's almost like it's what is that called? It's not. Is it fight or flight kind of deal?
I'm not sure, actually.
It's a very primitive part in brains, and unfortunately, humans have them as well.
Yeah.
That when they're not socialized or you're not socialized properly, then it causes issues.
Yeah.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they've shown this in prisons where they have had people in solitary confinement.
Oh, yeah.
That actually does worse for their behaviors. And it's horrible.
Yeah, because they get out of solitary and they just, more aggressive, right? Most of the time?
Or they start to regress into, they'll lash out to people so they can go back into solitary, and they kind of close off from the world.
Yeah.
They're not they can't even be a member of the jail, let alone population. And then when dogs get too aggressive or animals get too aggressive, and, they're I guess almost desensitized or oversensitized to something like that because they get aggressive, and then that's what happens. Yeah. That's what happens with dog fighting. Once they're taught that, it's hard to unteach that.
Yeah.
So I have to say, humans are going to be the same thing. We're going to be so used to having technology and all these Facebook, everybody else, all has
TikTok,
those.
Instagram, all those.
Right. So when they all have algorithms, okay?
Mhm.
And so when I start watching stuff, it'll say, "Oh, well, you like that stuff? We're going to send you more stuff like that," right?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now, the only opinions I'm seeing are opinions that agree with me.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm confronted with an opinion that I don't agree with, I don't know how to react to it anymore.
Yeah.
I've lost the ability to have a conversation or be able to have a good, agree to disagree conversation anymore.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
And I don't think people realize that. And I think that I think shows in our political climate.
Yeah.
But I think it shows across the board where people aren't able to handle someone saying something that they don't like.
Right.
That's because they're getting this filter of reassurance of what they have, which is great. Don't get me wrong; it's wonderful. Everybody needs reassurance, but they also need to understand that there's other opinions that they may not agree with that's out there that whether you agree with it or not, it exists.
Exactly. Yeah.
And screaming or yelling or having a problem with it isn't going to quite do it correctly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you? Here's my biggest problem. When technology goes so far, where's that line for you?
Oh, it's hard to say because, like I've, sorry, we'd have conversations, and then like 2 days later or something, I'll see it pop up on my phone and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm like, we were just talking about that. That's weird. And that just kind of almost freaks me out a little bit because I'm like,
that's called an algorithm.
Yeah.
People have been saying that for a while that, devices have been listening to you.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think they are. I don't want to put on my conspiracy hat or anything, but when that happens enough times and people have finally come out and said, well, yeah, it's kind of been doing that. That's how we keep track with those cookie settings.
Yeah.
Guys keep track of your search results and everything like that. And,
But I think, if we were to ever start, chipping ourselves or chipping humans, I think that would probably be a little bit over the line.
So now this I don't think we're too far from this as of now.
Yeah.
Chipping ourselves, I think, I think we've already crossed the line. Chipping ourselves is just kind of, well, I don't have to bring my credit card anymore. I could just put a chip in there on there. I can maybe I can do on my wrist. I could put a little LCD screen.
Yeah.
So now I don't even have to have a cell phone. I have one implanted in my arm, and I could go get an upgrade for it every once in a while.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little something that snaps on and goes from there. I don't think we're that far from that.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And I don't know, that I would not want to be around for that. I'm sorry, I wouldn't.
So that's what you say. Now let me tell you the positive of what happens with this. There are people putting chips and implants in their brain when they lose an arm and they're getting an artificial limb, and that chip in there is operating the arm where they can use it like they used to.
Yeah.
So again, sometimes it can be great technology. It can be very helpful. We just keep abusing it.
Yeah.
Here's where I see it going, and we're going to see. So this will be out there for the world to know.
Okay.
And in 50 years, we'll see if I'm correct. I want to say relationships will no longer be what we think relationships are. I'm going to gather we're going to have a computer wife, computer husband, or a robot husband, robot wife. That's what we're going to have. Sex robots exist. Yeah, Mikey, I hate to say it, but they exist.
Really?
Yeah. There are robots that there's a whole robotics designed for like sex robots, and some of even the AIs where you can download like a virtual girlfriend. There's apps for these
Wow.
where you can like pull up on your phone and have a conversation with an AI.
Yeah.
Where she, you talk to her and say, I had a rough day. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. What happened today? And I mean, you're going to be talking with a computer, and that computer is going to start understanding what your needs and what your wants are.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Throw that into a robot-sized sex doll,
Oh,
and now that replaces your partner. And
creepy.
she's going to give you, or he's going to give you exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Only what you want. And then now you don't even have a difference of opinion for a partner. You can't even really bounce real ideas off a person.
Wow.
That robot is going to be, and then, and that's how lazy we're going to get. We're going to go, oh, we're going to have sex with our sex robot, and then she's going to get up, or he's going to get up and go fix us a sandwich.
That's crazy. No.
So I don't even have to get out of bed.
No, thank you. I hope the world does not come to that.
I hate to say it, but we're already pushing to get to that point, because, and I hate to say it, but how many people do you want to deal with every day nowadays?
Not too many.
So you're already, your mindset is already going, I don't want to deal with people today.
Yeah.
I don't want to people today. There's shirts for that.
Yeah.
If you could not deal with somebody out there, what's the deal?
Yeah.
I mean, now I remember Tamagotchi. Do you remember Tamagotchi?
Who?
The Tamagotchi pets.
Oh, the little keychains that have like the pets that you take care of?
Yes.
Oh,
Do you remember
yeah.
those?
I remember those now, yeah. Okay.
I actually have one. I need to replace its batteries, but I have one.
Yeah, they're still around. I mean,
Yeah.
there's Pokemon games that can do that. You have virtual aquariums and stuff like that where you can do stuff like that. I want to say the real world isn't just like a push a button and make something happen. So I think that's where the problem comes into.
Yeah.
So I think we rely too much on it. I really do.
I think we do too, because I know, like, personally speaking, like, I only remember 2, maybe 3, of my friends' phone numbers.
Right.
And that's, yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
We used to always know them by heart or have them written down, and now they're just plugged in our phone, and we don't even have to think about it.
Yeah, you don't even have to know your own address anymore.
Yeah.
Your phone, you click home and it'll tell you what it is. You don't have to remember that.
I'm always scared of going to jail, because you know how you get that one phone call? I'd have 2, maybe 3 people I could call, because I don't know their phone number. I don't know anybody else's phone numbers.
It's going to be me or your dad, right?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be, I hate to say it, but if that happens to me, it's going to be you. I mean, that's the way it is. It's just kind of sad that that's our memory now. So
Exactly.
now, don't get me wrong, we've gone over a lot of the helping with the emergency services and stuff like that. But now you can have like a whole smart house.
Oh, yeah. Like Ring, Alexa, all those, like, devices that help you, like, run your house. Like, from a door cam to, your thermostat?
What happens when you give these computers way too much? Can you imagine living in a house that's all smart, that when you walk up to a door, you say, let's say you name your house, Susan.
Yeah.
And you walk up to the door, Susan, open the front door.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to do like everything by, and the house does everything for you.
Yeah.
And then the house gets mad at you. Or the house gets sentient. Susan, can you open the front door? No, I don't think I will today. I think you need to go back to bed.
That would be scary.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Those are horror movies.
Yeah. I was going to say, haven't they made like a movie or two about that kind of stuff.
There have been a couple, like, sentient houses that went,
Yeah.
awry movies.
I guess, like,
we have the warning. They're not taking them.
Yeah. And I guess, like, too, with everything, like, how are people, people can hack into your bank accounts now. Like, how people are going to eventually be able to hack into your home or your, like, I don't know. I just, like, lock all the doors. Don't let them leave the house. And, yeah, just crazy stuff like that. I mean,
Well, you heard about a lot of the car manufacturers that had, like, the remote keys.
Yeah.
If you get a high power wireless thing that it can pick up the sensor from your keychain, and then you could be outside, they could unlock your car from the driveway.
Yeah.
So now we are now making technology that will help stop that. Mm-hmm. But it's constantly, now we're in a technology war.
Yeah. Good versus bad.
Right. So the bad guys and bad people are trying to do bad things, and they're constantly up in the game, and then the security protocols have to update on the other side, and it's this constant. It's a cyber war.
Yeah, that's
eventually what we're teaching the computers is war is good.
Yeah,
because that's what it's done. Now, really, on the last of the list here is slang, computer slang.
Yeah,
people don't know how to spell. People don't know how to do punctuations. Automatic replies. I mean, someone texted me the other day, and it gave me predictive testing on the bottom of it. It said, "Hey, do you want to go do this?" And I had two options: sure or no. And it does that now.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, I've seen it where it'll even say, like, okay, good, or probably not, or yeah, that sounds good. I've seen.
No, thanks anyway.
Yeah,
it's being polite. That's I like people polite.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I like robots or my technology to be polite.
Yeah,
kind of runs a shiver up my spine.
It does. Bit. Yeah, it's a little scary. So. Yeah.
So no, I think we hit a lot of issues.
Yeah, we did.
I like technology, but at the same time,
you hate it.
Double-edged sword. I mean, it's moderation.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, if it causes EMF waves and it causes electrical interferences, and I hate to say it, but our brains are just an electronic, option as well. So you have electrodes going on and back and forth, so sometimes the energies could interfere with each other. That's where you're getting your I guess your mental issues.
Yeah. And just the aspect of not like socializing with people.
Right. I will tell you, in this day and age, in the climate that we live in, I'm willing to bet that people will not be able to detox from electronics for 24 hours.
Wow.
I mean, could you? Let me ask you this: can you deal with? Now, I understand refrigerator for keeping food, and I understand there's a little bit of conveniences that you have.
So maybe just detox from your phone for 24 hours?
Detox from the TV, computer, radio, any kind of electronic stimuli. Mm. Could you do that for 24 hours?
I don't think I could do it without the radio.
You have to have... that's what I'm saying. Oh, we could do it. How many times did I go jump on my bike and ride up to the park and just play in the park for hours?
Yeah. We should try that sometime. See how long we can go.
I would like to put that challenge out there. Yeah. I would like to challenge people out there to put away the electronics for 24 hours just to see what happens. And I want to say I don't think people can do it. I'm not 100% sure I can do it.
Me neither. I mean, I could see... Like, I would love to throw away my phone for like 24 hours. But
you'd be a nervous wreck.
I would.
You'd be like, "Where's my phone?" what do they call when you like you walk out of the house and you panic when you feel like you don't know if you have your phone on you, and you feel that phantom phone syndrome, and you're like as soon as you feel it in your pocket, you're like, oh, thank God.
Or like when you leave it out in your car and you get in the house and you're like, oh my God, where'd it go? Right.
And you have to run out right away to get it.
Yeah.
You can't be out there for heaven's sakes 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, people. I hate to say it, but we have a speaker in the shower, a shower speaker, because I like to listen to music. I do like music.
Yeah.
So I listen to music. Now it's not always on. Don't get me wrong. It's not like every time I'm in there, but
Yeah, you hardly use it, really.
Yeah, I don't use it that much. I like every once in a while, but let me ask you this. When's the last time you've gone to the bathroom without your phone? Right?
Yeah.
So you had to think about that. That's crazy, right? Like, and all my listeners out there, you got to think, when's the last time you've gone to the bathroom without a phone? And then if you've ever done it by accident, you're looking for any stimulation at all. I'm like, I'm in here, I don't know what to do. What does the back of the shampoo bottle say? You laugh because you know you've all done it. You grab something in there that you could read or distract yourself.
Yeah.
You're in there to do a job. Do the job. Get in, get out.
Yep.
Drop your deuce, move on.
True.
But you hear people dropping their phones in the toilet all the time. Why? That's because they're standing there reading news or on Facebook while they're peeing or going to the bathroom, and then the phone falls in the toilet.
The only time I've dropped mine in is like I'll leave it in my back pocket, and I'll either go to like stand up or sit down, and it'll fall. I've had that happen. So I'm like, okay, take it out of the pocket. Don't leave it in the pocket.
Right. Well, and so that's a problem too. So but then it comes out of your pocket, and all of a sudden, guess what? I have this.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, take it out of the pocket before you sit down, so you don't drop it in, and then you're like,
now I'm going to cruise Facebook.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, I love technology that I hate at the same time.
Exactly. Yep.
Moderation. Learn to slowly detox yourself a little bit from it.
Yeah.
That goes for the computer. That goes. I mean, people don't even go outside anymore.
Yeah.
The only light they're getting is the light bulb.
And that's not even good light.
Yeah. That light bulb's on, but the light bulb in their head is gone. It's out. It's been out of order for like 3 years. So I hate to say it, but these phones, if you let them, can make you very dumb, very lazy. Don't be stupid. Step away from the phone. Nobody will get hurt.
Yep.
I don't know. I didn't go too bad on that show, I don't think.
No, not really. So, yeah, I think we kept it pretty good.
Here's the other good thing is, don't commit a crime carrying your cell phone.
Right, because you could be tracked.
Rat you out. That cell phone is a rat.
Yep.
I'm telling you that right now. You commit a crime, it's going to rat you out.
Yep.
I think this is it.
Alrighty, bye everybody.